Hello again. We're back with Sam again to talk about the second in the four-part series. Previously, we looked at the first part, which was our strategic planning and our goal setting, and now we're going to take a look at control. So Sam, we were talking about taking control of your financial situation. What exactly does this mean?
Well, look, taking control really is about identifying what it is that you personally can control in your life, and particularly when we're talking about cash flow, the way the money comes in, via your wages or your pay, and how it flows back out again. So taking control and identifying how that works, as opposed to the things that you really don't have control over. And that just means you've got to either use a coach or at the same time have the opportunity to sit down and work out what I call, start developing what I call a living budget.
So what exactly do you mean by a living budget?
Well, look, again, taking control is something that, if you identify that you, for example, are spending a certain amount on fuel and you have no idea what it is, then you need to be able to quantify it. It's also about having your bank account set up in a certain way that just makes it easier for you to not overspend.
So this is all about being easy for the user.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about living budget, that's something that most people, and the budget word is a swear word in most people's vocabulary. It's something that everyone shies away from. They know they have to do it, but just don't do it for whatever reason. Or we get to the end of the year and it's New Year's resolution time, and it's like, oh, well, I'm going to do this. Going back to goal setting, like we talked about previously. So most people are working in the past, and I always say, well, you should absolutely be not working in the past.
Planning towards the future.
Working towards the future. Those goals that we sat down and wrote out, put them in, but at the same time plan what your expenditure is going to be over the next 12 months. What you actually want to do, not what you think you have to do or you can't afford. So again, it's asking better questions about what or how can I afford this, or how can I do this better. So let's talk about control.
So we've got this living budget. We've analysed what we have direct control over. What other things should we take into account?
Well, look, most people understand that to get certain things in life or to look good, you do sometimes have to take on a little bit of borrowing, and I quite often, the D word,
another swear word.
It's another swear word. A lot of people don't realise that there's a smart way to do that and a really dumb way.
Yeah.
Debt is a two-edged sword. It can really cripple people. So, we talk about good debt, bad debt, that kind of thing. So,
what exactly do you mean by good debt? How can we use our debt for our benefit?
Well, like I said, I actually prefer to say there's good debt and there's absolutely atrocious, ludicrous debt. Okay, so it's identifying, and it goes back to the idea of what is an asset and what is a liability. Yeah. What is something that's going to put money in food and feed you into your pocket, so to speak, or what is going to take money out of your pocket if you weren't able to work. So anything that you've borrowed money for, that if you weren't working, you would have to keep shoving money into it. For example, we talk about credit card debt. You've got a credit card balance. If you weren't working, pretty soon the credit card company's going to go, hey, you're not paying it, what's going on? Cars, holidays, things that depreciate in value or lose value. So if you're borrowing to buy things like that, even simple things in the household these days like laptops, furniture, tables, chairs, all of that kind of stuff, if it's borrowed money, it's ludicrous. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I quite often will sit with clients and I'll say, without really waving a big stick, I'll just say, look, why have you done that? Let's understand why, and how can we turn that around? Because when we talk about growing, borrowing for things that grow in value, now we're starting to talk about things that will, all kinds of investment instruments, that kind of thing, that allows you to grow your asset base that eventually puts money back in your pocket without you having to work. That's the idea about growing good debt. Yeah, getting leverage that way.
Well, that's the conclusion. Thanks again, Sam. That's the conclusion of the second part in the four-part series. And we took a look at control. And in the next section, we will be talking about discipline. Thank you.